On the road again. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Wednesday. I am on my way to the doctor. So today is the day to get my shoulders checked out and see what he has to say. So, yeah, let's do that. On my way driving here, I saw a pair of herons flying overhead. So yay. So it tells me Dad will be here at this appointment with me and help the doctor come up with the best solution for my shoulders, seeing as he had shoulder trouble himself once and had to have a cortisone shot. So, yay! Makes me happy. All right, doctor's appointment is finished. Woo! My appointment was for 11:20 with an arrival time of 11:05. I got there at 11. They took me back at 11:05. The nurse asked me a few questions, wrote down stuff. I basically told her that, why I think I have the right shoulder problem with having had the surgery and what happened, and that then I was laying on the couch for 5 weeks and just moving this arm, and that I ended up having some physical therapy, mainly more on my midline scar and being able to exercise again, and like pelvic floor therapy, and that she did do a little bit of work on my shoulder. Got it about as far as she could go and said next step's probably a cortisone shot. So she took all that information down and then said that yep, the doctor does want some x-rays done, so I could just wait in that room, and she was going to go let the x-ray department know that I was ready. And that was nice. It was good because x-ray is kind of just right next door, so just 100 steps away type of thing. So I sat there, she had put a gown on and just waited. And then went over to x-ray, and she took 8 x-rays, so 4 of each shoulder, kind of like a straight on shot, one of an angled shot, one from behind, so I turn all the way around, and then I had to sit at, it was like there was a table there that you could lay on, and they put a x-ray sheet thing below on the table, and I had to lean over into it. That hurt. The standing and all that, doing those were fine. The leaning over, the raising the arm up, and the stretching, it was like, ouch. But that was okay. Got those done back in the room, and then after a little bit, the doctor came in. Nice young guy, very very knowledgeable, very personable. Kind of went through my stuff again. Okay, this is what happened. You had the surgery, you'd had chemo, whatever. So okay, and then he had me show him range of motion. So I had to stand up, and I had to take the arms out front and see how far I could go. And he kind of measured an angle, and then to the side, and how far I could go, and then behind my back, which again I could just reach out. Arms at the side, and how far out I can go. So he took all those measurements. He just kind of standing in front of me going, okay, this is about this angle, went and typed them in the computer, and then he stood in front of me, and he put his hands out and had me put my hands on either side of him and try to not let him push it out. So he was pushing against me, I was pushing in. I could do that just fine. And then he went the other direction, and I had to try to push out, and I did that fine. And then with my arms up like this, he tried to push them down, and that hurt a little bit, but I could do it. And then what was the other one? I think there was one more, because I had my hands in, out, doing the up and down, and something out. Maybe being straight out and I don't know. There was another one, but he said because I was able to do all of that, I was able to hold him. That showed him that my rotator cuff muscle was actually just fine. So that's good to hear. That was nice. So because of that, yes, he could do a cortisone shot and take care of that. He said that because there was no pinpoint of an injury, that he thinks that this is a side effect of chemo. And I'm like, interesting. That I've heard that before. I've read something about that it could affect like the joints or whatever. And I was just like, really? That's interesting. I don't know. I have it, but yeah. So he says I have a frozen shoulder, so it's not like a rotator cuff tear or anything, but a frozen shoulder. And so what that means pretty much is the joint is between, he didn't use the word humerus, but between your arm bone and the clavicle, the joint where it all sits in, there's kind of like, I guess, this sack of fluid. He goes, think of it like a balloon and you're blowing up the balloon and it's deflating and all that. He goes, it's kind of deflated. So that's why there's not that much range of motion, that there's not enough fluid in there for it to like not hurt. So because the injury has been there for so long, he wants to do a series of 3 shots. He says they found that to be better. He said if it had only been like a month's worth or whatever, yeah, they can do the 1 shot and get away with it. If they don't do anything, it should still heal on its own, but it'll take a year to 3 years to heal. So I have heard, I think somebody actually in the comments wrote that it took them a year for their shoulder to heal. So it's been, I guess it's only been like, what, 9 months? It's going on since January, February, so it's been like 8-9 months almost. But so in any case, he's like, you could think about it or we could do it. I'm like, let's do it. I'm here. That's kind of what I was hoping for, so I just want to get it out of the way. I don't want to think about it. And he goes, yeah, and he uses an ultrasound machine to do the shot and all that. So again, nice, because I've heard kind of that being a problem before too, of people that when the shot hurts, it's kind of like because they don't get it in the right place. So if he uses an ultrasound machine, he can see exactly where that shot needs to go in and where to put the fluid. So the first shot is cortisone, and then another shot of saline solution. So again, to kind of try to blow up this bag a little bit. So I was laying on my right side. Just said to him, like, oh, so I'm laying there. I'm like, that's what hurts. It hurts the arm. So he's like, okay, I'm hugging a pillow. So I tried to kind of think too. I know when they're doing the PT, they kind of like pulled my arm out of socket type of thing. Like you just like really get your shoulders down. And then being up, so I was on my side holding a pillow. Oh, let's see if I can do this. On my side holding a pillow, and so trying to like get my shoulder down so it kind of like open up and have it, and then relax. And then he had like a laptop computer on a rolling table, like, you know, he brought that in front of me, and he's like, you can watch if you want to, if you're interested. I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. I think my daughter would probably love this. But so I could see on the screen, and then he did the ultrasound part, so he had the machine on there and I could see a little bit of what was there. It was kind of interesting. But and then he said, okay, you're going to feel a little pinch, and I felt the needle go in a little bit, not really much, and then I could see the needle on the screen. I could see the needle going in, and I could tell where it looked like there was like this little pocket area. It was layers. The top skin part just kind of looked like a lot of black fuzz. And then I could see almost like this little pocket area, and then there was another big white space, or well, empty space, or so I could see where the needle had kind of gone in. And then he had his athletic trainer was in the room with us, so she took pictures, a couple pictures of where he had the needle and stuff, and where he was putting it in. And I didn't really feel that one that much. And then he had, here's a second poke, and he put that one in. And as he was going with that one about halfway through, I was kind of like, oh, he's like, I feel that a little bit. I'm like, just a little, yeah, I feel pressure. Felt that, so it was like, okay, he was done with that one. I'm like, okay, roll to the other side. So I was like, oh, okay, got myself over. So same, get to the other side. He cleaned up all the way back. Can I do it with this arm? All the way back, like this area. So this is where I got my shot. I should probably even have a Band-Aid on, actually. Oh, can we see it? Didn't even look. Where is, oh, right there. Can you see the Band-Aid? I don't know. Yeah, you can kind of see where it is. So that's where, there it is, ow. Yeah, so I laid on this side, same, got the arm around the pillow, tried to relax it, tried to get it. I didn't feel as comfortable on this side like I did on the other side. I almost didn't feel like I was proper, but I don't know. So I made sure I relaxed. Kind of kept talking. I was talking kind of through it on the other side. He was mentioning something about with medical school and or somehow we were talking about the body. I think I was talking about exercising and how I like to exercise, and I've exercised all my life, and I used to make up my own exercise programs, and how with this going, the same thing. After the surgery was all done, and then I got to the point of where I could exercise again, and I was so happy, and then I was doing a little bit of weight work, and then my shoulders were hurting, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna stop doing weights. But I want to keep moving. And he said, yeah, that's a good thing too, because like he's known people that have gotten like elbow injuries, and then they get put in a sling, and then they get frozen shoulder because they're not moving their shoulder. He said, so it's better to kind of keep moving, even though it's painful. And I thought, okay, well, good. I didn't know if I was injuring it anymore if it was painful and I was trying to push through it and do whatever, but same. I also knew that if I stopped using it, it would freeze up even more type of thing, and that's what I didn't want. I didn't know it was frozen shoulder at the time, but I'm like, I don't want it to really stop moving, or, you know, to keep as much range of motion as I could, that I didn't want it to start going like, okay, it hurts here, well, now the next day it hurts here, well, now it hurts here, you know, that I want to keep going. But in any case, so with doing this shoulder, he got the first shot in and that was fine. And then he went for the next shot and it almost felt like he was kind of either moving around or I was kind of hearing this little click type noise, but I don't know what that was because obviously I'm not seeing it. I don't see the ultrasound. And he kind of even said something about, oh, this one's a little not working as well or whatever. And then he did it. He's like, okay, he was done. And then he said, yeah, I didn't get as much of like the pocket of fluid that I wanted to in this side. But it was okay, and it'll still be okay because of the next couple ones. So it kind of fun, and then it dawned on me too that yeah, this is the shoulder that, you know, so hurts more. This is the one that's been hurting for longer. So interesting that that one took a little bit more. Maybe that pocket was deflated a little bit more than the others. Oh, it was a very thin pocket what he was filling in. So I don't know. So he got that one done. And then the athletic trainer kind of helped move the arms a little bit. So kind of did like what Gina was doing with me when I was in physical therapy there, that she would hold the arm and move the arm. So again, with my muscles not engaged, I was able to move it higher. Like she was moving it back. And again, she could like get up here before I was in pain type of thing. And so she was holding it, did that. And then she put the arm this way and was trying to move it back that way, and I'm like, oh, that, you know, it was hurting. She's like, just breathe deeply, breathe. I'm like, okay. And then to go down, and it can only go so far down, and it was just like, she's okay, a couple more deep breaths, and a couple more. I'm like, okay. And then she went to the other side, and she's moving that arm, and that one went further. I'm like, ah, that sounds easier. Oh, okay. And then going this way, and I'm like, oh, that's not so bad. It's not as painful. She could get as far as almost she could go, or she was comfortable going. I'm like, that's not even very painful. And then I'm like, oh yeah, this is my better shoulder. That's why. So I think I'd asked the doctor and before he did the shots as far as if I would be restricted with anything, like when I get home, do I need to rest when I get home? Do I, as a, you know, granted I'm not in a sling, but should I just kind of like, you know, kind of really downplay it for the next couple days type of thing, whatever. He's like, no, the only thing is to not go swimming or in a hot pool for like 2 days just because of chance of an infection in the injection sites. I'm like, oh, that's fine, I can do that. And I think that was it. So the way this protocol works is I had the 2 shots today. So with the cortisone, it should take about 2-3 days before it will like kick in for pain reliever, so that my shoulders will start to feel better. Hopefully have a little bit more mobility. And then next week, so next week Wednesday, I will go in again and I'll have another shot, but that's just going to be saline. But again, to just increase that little what am I going to call it, pocket area, little balloon-like area, to again increase that with fluid to get it going. Oh, the cortisone also should, he said, decrease any inflammation that might be in there. So again, next week then again just fluid and kind of almost about the same amount as what I had today between the 2 shots, but they're going to put that in 1 shot. And then the 3rd week, again, just a shot of the saline solution stuff to really increase that area. He's like, but by then, hopefully I'll be noticing a difference already and it should be better. And that should take care of it. So he says with, again, this more long-term injury, they have found that the 3 shots seems to work better and be more longer lasting. So that was that. He asked if I had any more questions. Of course, at that point in time, no, I did not. And then coming home, I'm like, oh wait, but can I still do like planks? Of course not. I'm thinking again, like I want to exercise. And so I was like, well, can I do granted, I do plenty of other exercises, but I'm like, it's like, well, can I do planks? And then can I do, what else did I think of? Oh, I don't remember, because I'm like, when I get home, I'll do that. But of course, when I got home, I decided to visit Mom for a while because it's easier to talk about all this and tell her in person than to try to text anything. So I visited with her for an hour or so, because yeah, I didn't get out of the office until 1. So that was a fairly long appointment, really, 11 to 1. But again, so nice that he was able to do it all right there while I was there. I didn't have to like come back for the cortisone shots if I didn't want to. As he said, I could think about it and come back, but that he could do it right then and there. So tonight, to get this all done, awesome. And then I will be having some physical therapy. So I'm going back to Gina again, who I had seen. So I have that appointment scheduled for next week, Tuesday. So I'll be going to her again and to check out a plan, because then I asked the scheduler how many appointments a week I'm supposed to be doing, and she said, well, Gina will figure that out when she sees you, and she'll know or something. And again, Dr. Sasser did say that he has worked with Gina before, and he likes, he likes her, he knows her, so obviously she'll kind of know his plan. So that's good. So I'll figure it out if it's going to be once a week, twice a week, or whatever. And the doctor did say, she was like, and just follow through the exercises that she gives you to do at home. Follow through, even if it's painful. Push yourself and do what you need to do to make sure that you can get your range of motion back. So, like, that's fine. I could do that. I was doing the exercises before she was giving me, and well, did them for, until therapy was done, and thinking again, oh, my shoulder felt better. It was as good as it was going. But then this one kicked in. It said, hey, right shoulder, you can't have all the fun. I want some attention too. So, yeah. But that was good. That's all done. I don't have any relief in the pain right now. In fact, it feels like I've kind of like just done an hour-long arm workout. The shoulders are really sore. So I actually just took some Advil to help along with the pain relief for now, to get over what I just went through. But that should work. That'll be okay. Saw my herons on the way in. I mentioned that. When Wayne and I were walking the other day, Monday, on Monday, when we were taking our walk around, there were a bunch of seagulls flying overhead. And I was watching that, and I was just kind of like, oh yeah, look at all the seagulls up there. And then I'm like, wait, that bird has really long legs. And I'm like, that's a heron. Look at it. So I'm like, Wayne, there's a heron. And then he looks, and we were watching it, and as we noticed it, it was like, it came back to make sure that, yes indeed, I'm a heron. Kind of flew back over the lake a little bit, flew over our heads, and then kept going in the direction it was going. And I was just like, again, Dad saying hi, making sure that, yep, I hear you, I see you. I'm with you. Everything's going to be okay. And so it was nice. I don't know. Just seeing it, it was kind of funny. I didn't feel anxious or anything, but just seeing it was just like, oh, I felt like a little relief of like, yeah, everything's going to be okay. So, and then to see the herons, a pair of herons today flying over, going, okay. Like I said, he's been through this. He knows that, he told Mom, like, my shoulders just need a little attention. They're fine. So, they're fine. I don't have any muscle tears. Just need a little attention. Just need a little extra lubrication in there. So that is the shoulder update. Yay! Got that taken care of. And nice that I could do it so quickly. I didn't have to have a CT scan, so I didn't have to, plan for that. And I know they wanted to have a blood test before the CT scan, so I would have had to plan for that too, because I have that blood test coming up in a couple weeks before my next CT scan, actually end of October. So this is wonderful that he could just do the shot. That's going to work. So, that's it for the shoulder update. I hope you guys are all doing well, and keep it positive. Go make it a great day. Bye-bye.